Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. It's so nice to have you here. I'm Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is the Mallorca Connection, and our topic is cooking amazing food, van lifestyle with Roland Friedl. Roland is the star of our show, and he's literally rolling along the highways in his motorhome with his wonderful pets, and he is seeing the land in Europe. He's been on the road, I think, since March, and today he's going to give us a little bit of a purview into how he's eating healthy and staying well. So let's welcome him to the program, Mr. Roland Friedl.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Great to see you.
Thanks. Great
I
to
love
see
your
you
ear.
too.
I love your earring. I love your earring.
Thank you. I'm in a celebratory mood because our book, you're in the book, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, is the #1 new release on Amazon, and we haven't even released the ebook yet. So the paperback is out there, the hardback's coming. So thanks for being part of the journey to help teach children and their families how to listen at an elevated level.
It was like always an honor, pleasure, and congratulations, Dr. Jacalyn.
Thank you. So today we're going to be getting some insights into how you've been living on the road and eating well, buying from local parties and cleaning up and staying sustainable. It's all quite interesting. I love the pictures that you shared with me. So before we go into the pictures, why don't you tell our audience, especially for people joining us for the first time, where you were before, what was the impetus for you to do what you're doing, and what exactly are you doing?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, hello, wherever you are listening or watching us. My name is Roland, as you can hear from my accent. I'm not a native US or UK English speaker. I'm born and raised in a small little country in the middle of Europe, in Austria. But I left the country very, very early, traveling around the world. I always say the world is my office, the world is my home. So for businesses all the time, but also to get to know new people, new cultures, learn new languages, or learning new cooking recipes, for example. So I always love to travel. And so for the last 14 years, my home base has been the beautiful island of Mallorca in Spain until March this year. And in March, I left the island and I said, okay, it's time to open a new chapter. And it's also time to challenge myself, get out of the comfort zone again. And I love this. I do it always, getting out of my comfort zone, challenging myself, because I know that growth, especially personal growth, is coming from challenging yourself and getting out of the comfort zone. So I decided to give up this beautiful house in Mallorca after 14 years, and I moved into my motorhome that I always used actually for vacation traveling, to move into it full time. And yeah, this was always in my head the last 2 years, and so this year it was time to say goodbye to the island and move into the motorhome. So as I said, in March, I'm traveling in my motorhome. I spent time in Germany, in Austria, in France, many weeks in France, and actually the last 3 months, since my birthday, so it's mid of September, I'm traveling through Spain. I just love this country. And right now I'm in the south of Spain, in Andalusia. It's called El Rocio. It's a very famous pilgrim place, beautiful one. They don't have even roads there. Everything is in sand, so people are really horseback riding. Beautiful, these Andalusian horses. The ladies in these beautiful dresses, these flamenco dresses. It's a very famous pilgrim place that is absolutely crowded with hundreds and thousands of people in June. But it's also, that's the reason why I am here, it's also the entry for this, I guess, one of the largest, even the largest national park in Europe, with amazing birds and different animals, and you can see here. So I'm here right now. But on my background is a business background. So I do, together with my team, we run a consulting, training, coaching company in Switzerland, Spartan Performance Systems, where we consult, train, coach, and spare. We see ourselves as a sparring partner for our clients, huge international, multinational companies worldwide, and actually on every continent in this world, except Australia. So in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And besides that, I do a lot of men's work. also do this manned show actually tomorrow, the Wild at Heart show at USA Global TV. I'm very, very engaged for the environment. So that's why I have the Respect Mother Earth Foundation, and I do the Earth Show here on USA Global TV and radio. So yeah, that's a lot about myself. Thanks.
It's so interesting. I love it. Let's take a look at one of the pictures. I think this really shows you very well. You look very happy, by the way. This one. And
yes.
Tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, this is my motorhome, and this is one of my dogs, Abayomi. Unfortunately, he passed away this year, so there's one dog left that's traveling with me and one cat. Yeah, here this was a time when I was, from time to time, the girlfriend was traveling with me, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure where this was. It looks warm. France. I guess it was in France. Yeah, I think it was in France. So it shows me outside enjoying. I know what the drink is. It's an Aperol Spritz that we drink very often, and we're having a salad together. Yes, that's what's on this picture. And this is mainly, I'm actually almost all the year, except these days, it's just raining right now. I spend a lot of time outside. People always say you have always a colored face or colored body. I don't do any at all sunbathing, but I'm always outside, or always in the fresh air, always in nature. And that's a typical setting, parking the caravan. Actually, this here is on a camping site. Most of the time I stay in the wild when it's allowed. Here, I guess I'm on a camping site, and in the background you see the gas grill. So I have an outdoor kitchen, an indoor kitchen, outdoor kitchen. So I guess I was barbecuing, and we have a starter on the blade. I can't see it exactly. Yeah, that's a typical setting. Yeah, on the road. Oh, I know where this is. Yeah, I remember this. This is on a beautiful lakeside in Poland. On a beautiful lakeside in Poland. And yes, we cooked, actually my girlfriend, she prepared a typical Polish main dish that's called pierogi. So this is like a pasta that's filled with different kind of, so you can have it with meat, with sauerkraut, with potatoes, or you can have it with sweet. So typically pierogi. And you also see a red beet salad, one of my favorite salads, a red beet salad. Very healthy, by the way, for if you have a blood problem. Red beet with Greek cheese. And yeah, there's always flowers on the table. Yeah,
I just was going to say that. I love the flowers.
Yeah, it's roses. It's roses. Yeah, always flowers with me. Yeah.
And this is another one that's a favorite.
Yeah, actually, this is the companions right now. So as I said, Abayomi unfortunately passed away. He was over 12 years old. So I'm traveling with Aloha, this beautiful girl on the right. She is a mixture. Actually, we have her from a shelter from Italy. We picked up her last year in August. She comes from a shelter from Italy. She's her mom is a Marimano, and her father's an Ochaka. So this breed is a very strong, powerful guarding dog. They are living normally outside of the cattle. I know with goats, sheep, or whatever, and protecting the cattle against wolves or bear attacks or human beings who want to steal it. So they're very independent dogs. They're very lovely, but they're very protective. So when somebody comes close to the motorhome, she becomes a pesty. And on the left side, that's the king of the motorhome. Actually, he was the king. This is Phoenix, a cat. He's a Maine Coon mix, 12 years already, and he loves to travel on the road. And he was the king, but it changed a little bit. A long story. It changed, yeah. And they always eat together mostly. And I also cook for my dog. You can see it's cooked potatoes, vegetables, rice, and of course a lot of meat. Actually, it's chicken. Yeah.
Wow, look how cute they are together, though. They get along really well?
Absolutely. They're very good friends. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so sweet, beautiful.
They sleep together.
Oh, I love it. What about this one?
This is one of my fast cooking. That's my fast food. I call it fast food because it's quite quick. It's gnocchi. It's Italian. Italian. It's made of potatoes. Gnocchi with pesto. This is when I don't have,
Love it.
when I'm not really in the mood to cook and have a lot of time. Then this is just gnocchi al pesto with some parmesan and my favorite Mallorcan beer. And this is my outdoor kitchen, yeah. So what I do have, maybe show later, we have an indoor kitchen, of course, in the motorhome, but I cook outdoor because I don't like the smelling when I cook.
Mhm.
So I have a 2-flame gas oven outside. I also have a barbecue, a gas, of course, Weber, a famous company, gas barbecue outside. I have a tashine. I have an air fryer. I brought a lot of kitchen stuff with me because I love cooking.
I love it too. And now we've got some people you're entertaining, I assume?
Yeah, this was in Messange in France this year on the Atlantic coast. Beautiful place. Actually, I planned to stay there for 3 days, and I guess I spent almost 3 weeks there. And it was funny because I met friends. This young lady in front with the blacks dressing, and the little 2 boys on the left side, and her husband, he's not on the picture. Yeah, like very good friends of mine who also live in a motorhome and travel around Europe. They're right now in Portugal, so I will meet them on the weekend. They have 2 colors of boys because her husband, Chibi, my dear friend, he's half from Senegal and half from Germany. So his father's from Senegal, his mom is from Germany, and one of his boys is white and the other boy is black. It's funny. It's a beautiful couple. I met them. Actually, they came to visit me. On the left background, you have a German couple. They also live full-time in the motorhome with 3 kids. Actually, I know the lady, this young girl, because I know her father from business, and by chance they were there. And on the right backside, you don't see them all. There's a couple from Ireland, and this lady with the glasses from England. And we met there on this beautiful place on the beach. And I cooked for them. I did actually today. This day I was cooking vegan. But I was cooking Indian vegan food. So we had a chickpea curry, we had a potato cauliflower curry, we had a Creolean rice with beans and different stuff. And so I was cooking for 8 adults and 5 kids. And I was so happy at this day, I remember, because especially the kids, the small ones, they loved it. I was a little bit scared that maybe it's too spicy for them, but they loved it, and there was nothing left at all. But this makes a cook happy, when some people are really enjoying your food. It's not only about cooking. It's also about cooking for people who really enjoy the food that you're cooking for.
Absolutely. I love it. And how about this? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, here you see my outdoor kitchen. That's what I say. So I have a dish and a table there. And as I said before, I always try to cook outside. Of course, the dog and the cat is always waiting that something falls down from the meat or from the fish or whatever I'm cooking. So yeah, this is my typical setting. I was cooking outside. Yeah. But there's no table for sitting because I remember this place. It was forbidden to camp there, so I only built up the table for cooking, and I was eating inside because camping. You could park there and stay there, but you have not been allowed to bring stuff outside. Something happens, yeah.
Wow. And it's a really nice motorhome too. So you had already purchased this motorhome and you were using it just periodically, right? To travel maybe on a weekend or something. So can you walk us through how you came to that decision? Like you have this beautiful motorhome. It's not just any motorhome, it's a special motorhome, right? And you made a decision that instead of just using it part-time, it was going to be a full-time thing.
No, but actually, when I was a student, I was always thinking about buying a motorhome, a smaller one, of course. Then I married very early. I started my family. I'm very happy about my 3 boys, but my first wife, the mom of my kids, she didn't want a motorhome. So and you start a family, you start doing business, and then you forget your dream. And it came up again. And then I remember 2017 when I was in Bali, one of my favorite places in the world. I was sitting in this beautiful villa outside the pool and with my iPad, and I missed my dog because always when I traveled mostly for at least 5 to 6 weeks minimum, sometimes longer. And so I'm not a typical guy who flies for a week somewhere. Maybe, yeah, sightseeing to do a city trip, to go to New York for a week or any other city. Yes, but when I travel, it means I really travel. I want to get really feel the country, the atmosphere, talk to people, learn about them. Not just sitting in a 5-star hotel and actually they're all the same all over the world. I know them from business, but privately, I love to connect with people. So I always traveled many weeks, and I always missed my dogs. Always. I always had a good place for them, but I always missed my dogs. And I remember I was sitting in Bali in 2017 on a pool, and I missed my dog again. And actually, the boy you saw before, Abayoma, the Ridgeback. So I was Googling a little bit about motorhomes, and I, on this pool, I made a decision. Okay, when I'm back, because I found out that one of the motorhomes I wanted to have is one of my best friends. We have been friends since almost 40 years, 39 years or something like that. He's one of the largest dealer in Austria. So I contacted him, and when I came back from Bali, I ordered it. Yes. The reason for that is because I was traveling all over the world, except Australia. I've never been to Australia and New Zealand. I don't know why, but I've North America, South America, Asia, Africa, all the places. And I said, okay, let's travel more in Europe, and then you can also bring your dog with you, or maybe you ship one day your motorhome to North America, Canada, and travel there. So in 2017, I decided to have a motorhome. So I ordered it in 2017. I went to the largest motorhome fair in Germany, ordered it there with my friend, and in 2018 they delivered it. Yes.
It's amazing because it's a commitment, right? It's a big commitment, something you have to take care of and something you have to maintain. And I know you shared you were on the road and you had an issue with the panels. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, a car, a motorhome in this size, is actually to be honest, it's for the US, it's not a normal smaller one, but for Europe, it's a larger one. And these are handmade stuff, so it's like, I don't know, when you own a boat or a sailing boat, or especially when you own a motorboat, there's a handmade stuff. There's always something to repair. It's normal. It's the same with this huge motorhome. There's always something. Yeah. So last year in Poland, my I don't know how to say, my Dolder, my Marquise didn't work for 2 months. I was really pissed off because I had no shadow in the sun. I had no protection in the rain. This year, my engine, I had problems in the Swiss Alps and then in the French Alps for 2 weeks. I had no power going up, so I was always scared that the motor was rolling back at zero power, and there was no service station, so I had to wait 2 weeks until coming back to the coast side, to a larger city, and repair it there. A stone hit my front window. Yeah, you always have a challenge with the machine, but to be honest, I'm not really worried about it myself. Okay, it is like it is. Let's solve a problem. Let's solve it. I'm always looking for a solution. I'm not a problem guy. I'm always a solution guy. So you can fix everything, And then, of course, it's annoying sometimes, but it's like everything in life, You just have to accept it first. You accept it, and then find a solution, deal with it, solve it, and continue whatever you're doing. And for me, it's continuing traveling.
Yeah, I love your attitude, because that is what it's all about. Sometimes people get so wrapped up that something happened, they don't even think about finding a solution. They just want to complain about whatever it is. And you just need to get it resolved. And if you have a clear mind, you're probably more likely to come up with some solutions, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I never understand people. Actually, my girlfriend is always the same. Problem. Actually, she called me today because I bought her a nice device, and she lost it today. And it's a therapy device. I have the same one. It's an amazing therapy device, and it's really whatever you want to heal, you can heal with this device. It's not cheap, but it's good. And she lost it today, and she was calling me and screaming, and hey, let's fix it. So I'm always in the solution. Doesn't matter what it is. Because when something is broken, something is lost. It's broken. It's lost. And why complaining? It is like it is. My grandma always said, "Never look back. fix it. When you can fix it, repair it, or buy a new one or whatever. But why worry? It doesn't make sense at all, because it's when you worry about something, when you're annoyed, when you're I don't know, whatever, when you get angry, it doesn't solve the problem. Not at all. You're just wasting time and energy. You're
Yeah.
wasting the energy that you need to solve the problem.
That's such a good point, because we only have so much energy, and if we put it into a negative spin, and it's just going to drain us, and we're still not going to have the solution that we need anyway. So we've
I
got
can
a
tell you,
couple.
let me say something for this, Dr. Check. Because just by chance today, I was listening to a video a friend of mine sent me. He's in the German-speaking countries. He's a very famous scientist. He's a brain scientist. And it was very interesting. Was talked about a solution or a problem-focused people or solution-focused people. He says, the brain needs most of the energy of your body. The most energy of your body is gone with your brain. So when you're a brain worker, you burn a lot of calorie. That's the reason when I do coaching and consulting afterwards, I'm really hungry. So working with your brain needs a lot of energy, and all beings. Doesn't matter it's an animal or a human being, the animals too, it's an animal or a plant. The whole system is about saving energy, storing, restoring, saving energy. Yeah. To live and survive as long as possible. That's why birds fly in a certain design, I don't know how to say it in English. It's all about saving energy. And for human beings, it meaning when you think about something, when you want to solve a problem, when you're looking for a solution, meaning thinking about something, maybe thinking about something new, being more innovative, it needs a lot of energy. So your brain doesn't want that. So it says, maybe you eat something, maybe you're just complaining, maybe you're doing this. It's easier because you're using less energy. The brain is losing less energy, not the body itself. The brain is using less energy. So, and whenever you do this, when you're fixing a problem and you're escaping by, taking drugs or drinking or eating or whatever you're doing, and you learn that this is working, then the brain says, hey, that's a good strategy. It helps me storing energy, wasting less energy. That's interesting. I just saw this video today. It was very interesting.
It is interesting. Wow. Thanks for sharing that with us. You always have some unique perspectives. I appreciate that. I've got a couple of pictures.
I'm always eager to learn.
And I know, I like that. I am too. Tell us what we're looking at here, because it looks so darn good.
Oh, this was in the mountains in France, South France, close to the Côte d'Azur. Yeah, it was a quick lunch, in France, of course. And actually, sorry for the French people when you're watching from France. It's in France, but it's in France, but it's an Italian wine. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Sometimes when it's very hot, you just have a salad or like this. In Italian, they say caprese. It's tomato with mozzarella and basilico. But yes, sorry, it's an Italian wine. It's not a French one.
Oh, it looks so good. That's one of my favorite things, by the way.
I love it in summer too. Yeah, I love it in summer too. So good.
We've got a comment from someone watching in our private Facebook group. We don't know who you are, but thank you. Fix It Attitude, awesome. If you want to type in your name so we know who you are and where you're joining us from, we would love that.
Thanks for your feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have another one. Tell us about this, and also who's in the background here.
Oh, my dear guru. Yeah, this is one of my healthy versions of breakfast, to be honest. It didn't happen very often the last time, especially in France, because we have this amazing croissants. I'm always very open and transparent. But I had this healthy breakfast, and it's I study the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita comes alive in Sanskrit with my guru, Dr. Jeffrey Armstrong. And as he's teaching in Vancouver at 7 p.m. Vancouver time, so my lectures are always at Thursday, 4 p.m. my time, actually next Thursday too. It's a little bit challenging for me getting up very early, but yeah. So I have a coffee. Actually, when I get up, I have a huge glass of water, then a coffee, because I love the taste and the smelling especially. And then I have this is a keto breakfast, meaning this is keto, meaning that has no carbs. except the fruits, and it has oat milk. It's not, as I said, I'm not a vegan, but I don't like cow milk. I don't like the taste, so it's oat milk. And it has a vegan protein powder. Yeah, that's my breakfast. And I'm listening. Actually it's not one of his lectures. So I'm watching to one of his videos on YouTube from Jeffrey Armstrong. And by the way, gentlemen and ladies, are also on USA Global TV, USA Global TV and Radio. We did together, Dr. JACALYN and myself, 2 interviews with him on the Mallorca Connection about karma as a science and about yoga in about having a yogic lifestyle in a challenging world. Yeah, this is my guru, Dr. Jeffrey Armstrong. And actually, I met him in Bali years ago. Well, actually, the first time we met was 2,000 years ago on the Silk Road. But in this life span we met in Bali.
Yeah, he was a very interesting guest that we've had on. Yeah. So I'm going to spotlight you, and I would love for you to share. You've talked about this before, but being on the road, you found that some people are very friendly and some people are more reserved, but just kind of hoping for someone to speak to them. And I feel like as you're traveling around to these different communities, that you are able to bring that gift of cooking, which really brings people together. So how would you say that this part of your wireless life rocks? How would you say that it's impacted you, being able to bring strangers together to share their experiences over food that you've prepared?
Well, actually, I know for me, eating in general is not only to nourish your body because you're hungry. For me, having a meal together, a lunch or dinner, or in modern times, a breakfast, it's all about coming together with people and communicate, like we did it years ago, decades ago in the families. Always coming together. And eat together and talk about the days, about what we have done, what we plan, challenges, issues. This was normal, but it's been lost in our modern society because with this feminism stuff that came up in the 50s, the ladies started to work too. Nothing bad about that, but what happened is mom was not home for cooking again, so the kids were been by myself, like it happened to my brother and myself. Oh, well, actually, my mom was not a good cook, not a good cook at all. So I said, please don't cook for us. You don't have to prepare. So I did it. So I guess it was 6.5 or 7 years. I started to learn cooking, to cook for myself and my younger brother. Then there came this passion for cooking. But yeah, I mean, eating, sharing a meal brings people together. It's a way of socializing, about communicating, and I love this. I always loved it, and not only in the motorhome, even on Mallorca or wherever I lived, inviting friends and have dinner together or even cook together. And I remember when I started one of my largest company, almost 30 years ago. All my top management, normally you go out in a fancy restaurants and then you invite them for dinner or whatever. And what I did it also, but then I stopped it. And what I did, and the feedback was enormous. I invited them to my home and I cooked for them. So I cooked for my top management, for my best managers, and they really enjoyed it so much because it's easy to pay a bill, to sell a bill. It's easy when you have the money, and it's more effort, to think about what you can cook. Buy the stuff, prepare the stuff. So I did all by myself, and I love it. I love bring the same together, and I do the same on the road. Not always; it's not always possible. But when you get in contact with somebody and we're talking about food, or they smell, or they I don't know, pass by my car when they said, "Oh, this smells good." I said, "Okay, you want to taste?" And yeah, then it's okay. I invite you. Come on. Let's share a meal, and then maybe this guy says, or this lady says, or this couple says, again, tomorrow you come to our motorhome, we cook something. Or I remember 4 years ago in France, I met a very nice couple. We're still friends. We still meet every year in our motorhome somewhere, and it was always me cooking. They actually bought the stuff, I cooked, and the girls did the dishes, the cleaning. So yeah, it's always fun, and as you said, it brings people together. Sharing a meal brings people together. Even cooking together is even more fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And I know that you are a big advocate for sustainability and for buying local. We have a number of pictures that won't load for some reason. So maybe we can look at them the next time. But can you walk us through how you make your decisions on what you're going to buy? One of the things I thought that was most interesting that I learned from you, I never even thought about it before, is regardless of where you are in the world, why are we buying products that are from other countries that have to be shipped in when we have the same product in the country where we are? Or maybe it's out of season, so we don't eat it until it comes back into season. So tell us a little bit more about your philosophy, please.
Yeah, man, we always talking about sustainability and other stuff. And what I found out with all my research is the, the best impact it can do, a positive impact can be do, is buy local, buy local. So the lowest carbon footprint, if you want to call it like this, is buying local, not exported, nothing shipped thousands of miles over the ocean. And I don't know why do have Americans have to drink table water from France, or why do we have in Europe have, I don't know, grapes in winter, which they grow here we eat them here in July, August. Why do we have to eat them in January and import them from South Africa, for example? It doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense at all. And that's always when I found this out, that I started to rethink about my eating habits, my cooking habits. And years ago, I don't know, about 20 years ago, I was introduced to an association that was founded in Italy. I don't remember when, I guess in the 1950s or something, 1960s. It's called Slow Food Association. And the Slow Food Association, it's very famous in Italy, but you also see them in France and Spain. This is an association, and there are restaurants together. They only cook local ingredients. They only cook with local ingredients, and I became a big fan of it. And I love the food and everything. And I said, okay, why? It makes sense to me too to do this also in my kitchen. When I cook, only buy local food, and especially now when I'm traveling on the road, I never go on highways, because on highways it's boring to drive. I mean, with a large motorhome, it's a little bit more challenging, crossing all the small villages. You have a lot of roundabouts and stuff like that. But I always see maybe a farmer market, a local market, or a farmer is offering, having a sign outside. You can buy here, I don't know, eggs or meat or potatoes or tomatoes or fruits or whatever. So I always buy local, whatever is possible local. Yeah. Well, of course, I go to the supermarket and need a toilet paper or stuff like that. But the food is, I guess, 95% local. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's a great story. And you're also a big advocate about cleaning up the oceans and doing what we can. You've shown us pictures of you doing beach walks. Tell us more about that.
Well, I mean, it's together. I mean, when you buy local, you buy less at the supermarket. You bring less plastic at home, less packaging. Of course, that's one point. It's about avoiding plastic as much as possible, because it's you transport it home and then you throw it away. It doesn't make much sense. And actually, actually the last years in Mallorca, we organized all those beach cleanings, especially in winter. There's not much to do. So together with my girlfriend, we always organize beach cleanings with friends or locals, and yeah, going on the beach. And the reason for that, where we started, is you live in a beautiful place and then you see this garbage, and it really annoys you. And you know what I learned in my early years? That there's one thing, throwing stuff away. Of course, if you don't have the education, yeah, okay. But there's another thing, is when you are educated and you know the impact of throwing plastic or whatever garbage away, when you know it, and you're just annoyed about somebody else, but you don't bend your back down and you bring it to the garbage. Why not? So I said, okay, throwing it away is bad, yes, but ignoring others and not picking it up and bring it to the next garbage bin or whatever, it's the same attitude for me. So we started actually always combined. I always had dogs, and when dog walk, you're walking the dog on the beach or on the forest or wherever you're walking. Why not bringing a bag and taking the garbage away? Why not? So we started this in Mallorca years ago, We did it in Bali. I say my second favorite island. Well, I've been several times there. We did it in Bali and other places. We did it in India. And we did it here on the road. You met Jonathan. I did 2 interviews with him. So we did it also in Spain, beach cleaning, but we also do forest cleanings, lake cleaning, stuff like that. Yeah. And there are many organizations out there. There's one actually on Facebook called One Handful. As in German, it's eine Handvoll. It means whenever you walk, maybe on the weekend with your spouse or with your kids or with your dog, you should bring home a handful of garbage. So bend down whenever you see them and bring it to the next garbage bin. Yeah. It makes sense to me, man. When you walk outside, why not? Why not? I mean, the point is, we're also busy. We're working hard, really working hard, and then we want to have a good time, relax, reconnect with nature, and then you are on the sea or on the lake or on the river or in the forest, and there's waste there, garbage there. It's not fun. So why not cleaning it up and taking self-responsibility? Just cleaning, not just only complaining. It's sometimes hard. I guess last time we've been in the Glade, and there was a small river in Spain. They call it Torrent, going to the sea, and there are, I don't know, 40, 50 fishermen there, and full of plastic, and they're fishing. I would never eat a fish like that. I mean, just microplastic, and they say, "Hey guys, that's really cool." I mean, in Spanish, yeah, it's really cool what you're doing. And while they're talking to us, they're throwing away an empty beer can and a package of cigarettes.
Oh my gosh! What? What?
Yes, you mean that they do it unconsciously? They're not conscious. They do it unconsciously. They're not absolutely not aware of what they're doing. Yeah.
And
it's all about education.
It is. On one of our other shows, one of our expert correspondents over in the UK, he's the chairman of the fisheries, and he was just talking about, cleaning up the oceans and how salmon, it's such a popular fish, but the fish consume the plastic and then we eat it. And people don't realize that then we're getting that plastic in our bodies. I know the place that I buy salmon, they were out of it for over, I would say 10 days. And I guess it's because there's not as much salmon as there used to be. And I'm living in Florida, which there's a lot of fishing going on down here. But everything we throw away ends up in something eating it. And then we end up eating that. So we need to think about that whole process.
Absolutely. I remember when we had the interview with Amaya Rodriguez from the Gravity Wave. She's running this company, bringing together with 4,000 fishermen in the Mediterranean Sea all this plastic from the ground. Yeah, it's fish net out. And she stopped eating fish because there's so much microplastic in fish. Absolutely. And I guess I sent it to you, JACALYN, once, an article that I guess a blue whale is consuming 43 kilogram. I know it's more than, I guess, 80 pounds or something on plastic. I don't know, per hour or per day. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's an hour a day. 43 kilogram, 80 pounds of plastic every day or every hour, whatever it is. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It really is. So please think about what you're doing, your own behavior, and how it impacts the bigger picture, the Mother Earth. As we get ready to close out, I'd love for you to share just a little bit about the other programs that you're on here on our platform so that people can find out about them and then join us.
Yes. Yeah, on Wednesdays, we, together with my dear colleague Marcin Krasiewski, he's a Polish, actually a coach, he's working as a coach right now, but from his background, he's a biologist or environment biologist. We do bi-weekly The Earth Show. It's an environmental show, and as we always say, it's not a finger-pointing show, don't do this or do this. So, no, it's more about leading by example. So we tell our stories, what we do on a daily basis. We interviewed Amaya, what she's doing with her company. We interviewed Captain Paul Watson, the founder of Greenpeace, later the founder of Sea Shepherd and of Watson Foundation. So people who are active doing something. Yeah, we never would invite any politics. We never would invite any talker. Yeah. We only invite doers, or we are doers by ourselves, by leading by example. It's all about doing, and we cannot change the world. One person can't change the world, but millions of people can change by doing a little bit. It's all about doing a little bit on a daily basis. It's not about thinking and discussing and arguing and discussing with other people what should have been done on a large scale. It's more about what you can do on a daily basis on a small scale. And one of my gurus, Shivananda, he said, 1 gram of practice is more worth than a ton of theory. And that's what I see on the Earth Show. It's about bringing example what we can do on a daily basis. That's the Earth Show. I'm very passionate about this because it's so important to respect Mother Earth, or Pancha Mama, like the Indians say, or Body Mama, like the Bharats in India. And the second one is, it's obviously I'm not only a human being, I'm a man. I'm still a man. I'm not changing this. Yeah, sorry for the LGBT. I'm a man. I will not change it. I'm a man. So, and I found out by myself years ago that I have problems in recognizing and expressing my feelings, and men don't talk about it. And this is really, when you never learn to express negative feelings because it trained you like a kid, kids from the parents in school or the military, not to be weak. When you suppress negative feelings, what I found out over the years is when you suppress negative feelings, when you ignore it, one day you will also not feel the positive feelings, and it means this is a painful life. It's not joyful. It's not fun. So when I found this out, I started to work on myself, of course, and then I started this Men's World Sparing for Men. It's a platform where men meet online in a safe environment, and then we brought this also on for if you're offering Dr. JACALYN on USA Global TV and Radio, the Wild at Heart show. Actually, the Wild at Heart is a title from John Eldridge, a very famous American writer who does a lot of on men's work. I highly recommend also books. And so we have this Wild at Heart show, and I call it Real, Authentic, Uncut. The reason for that is there's so much fake stuff out on different channels, and we do a show with real men with different backgrounds from different countries, talking about real topics. There's no script. We only talk about, okay, which topic we are discussing, and then we start. There's no script. We don't talk in advance who is allowed to say something. No, it's real, it's authentic, and it's absolutely uncut. So Wild at Heart is a show for men, by men, about men. And this is also on Wednesdays every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time or 9 p.m. Central European Time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Roland, for sharing all of that. And can you please give your contact information and who you'd like to reach out to you?
Yes, I mean, whoever wants to reach out to me, I always love to meet people. I love to connect, to share. It's all about sharing and caring, and it's not always about making business or deals together. It's just connecting, and if there's something coming out, yeah, why not? Whoever wants to connect with me, the easiest way is to go. I call it my main website. I have so many websites because I do so much different stuff because I'm really interested in so many different things. So when you go on my main website, this is my name, rolandfriedl.com. I will spell it for those guys who are listening on a podcast or radio station. It's ROLANDFRIEDL, rolandfriedl.com. This is my main website. And from there, you can link SPS, Partner Performance Systems. This is the business website for our business, customer for our B2B business. You can go on WLR. This is Wireless Life Rocks. This is for people who, want to become a more independent, free lifestyle like myself. There we coach people who want to work remotely, change their lifestyle, change their work habits, maybe go from a corporate world into their own business, or maybe they want to move to another country or whatever. So that's where we coach people there. And then there's Sparing for Men. There's one website together with the Bonfire Dogs from USA Global TV and Radio. It's the men's side, and then there's a new website coming on, Respect Mother Earth, and much more. But go on my main website, rolandfriedl.com. There's a contact form. Contact me. I will come back to you. As I'm on the road, to be honest, I don't have any email app on my smartphone. I don't like this. But when I put it on my computer, and I will come back as within 24 to 48 hours. I respond. I respond.
That's fair. That's very fair. Well, this was a great show. Thanks so much. And thanks for taking the time to provide those pictures. And I know that you sent over so many more. We'll try to figure out how we can get them uploaded so that we can share them with the audience. So thank you very much, Mr. Roland
Thank you.
Friedl. And I wish you a
Thank you.
beautiful rest of your evening there.
Yeah, thank you. I will go. I have a dog walk now. A stressful one to get rid of all the male ones. But there's one dog outside. It's funny. I've sent you a picture. It's a small guy, but he's so full power and self-esteem. It's incredible. He's much too small for her, but he's not giving up. He's 24 hours outside. I love this little boy,
gosh.
but I don't know where he's from. I didn't see any owner, but I love this little boy. He's fully in his testosterone, but he's a lovely guy.
Well, please take a picture. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Please do reach out to Roland. He's a great guy. He's a great mentor, and he's someone that I highly recommend that you get in touch with. The people here on our platform want to hear from you. So if you're thinking, I don't know, should I contact them on LinkedIn or on their web? Yes, do it. That's why they're here. They want to meet you and they want to see how they can support your work and maybe collaborate with you. So I have a few announcements that I'd like to go over quickly. We are all about elevated listening here on our platform. And you're probably wondering, what is elevated listening? Elevated listening is listening without interrupting. Think about the last time you had an argument with someone, or maybe you just had an unpleasant conversation because the person kept interrupting you. Or think about a time when you said something to someone and they immediately came up with an answer or a solution. And you didn't ask for a solution. You're just telling them what was going on with you. Or think about the time when you were telling a story and someone else decided to take the stage away from you. You were talking about something that happened. They had something even worse happen, something even better happen. And the next thing you know, you're not sharing your story anymore. And of course, think about when you said something and somebody else judged you for it. Maybe you're pro-vaccination. Maybe you're against vaccination. Maybe you're pro-guns. You're against guns. Homeschooling, whatever it is, and the other person feels the opposite of you, and they immediately judge you, and they're no longer listening. We have a team of people here on our platform who are certified at listening at an elevated level. Roland is one of those people. And as a result of that, we've been able to come together to share our message. And we'd like to have each and every person in this world join us, because if you think about it, if we have more ability to listen instead of talk, we're going to have more peace, inner peace and world peace. Think about the politicians. Instead of constantly over talking one another, or even when they're interviewed, of course, not all, but those who do. And instead of answering the question, they digress and answer something totally different. They're not listening to what's even being asked. So if you'd like to join our team, we'd love to have you. As an elevated listener, you get special opportunities. You'll see here the book cover on the right, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. This is Amazon #1 new release earlier today. I'm thrilled about it. We just published it. And each of the animal characters on the book cover is an elevated listener. My co-author, Mariska Duprier in New Zealand, she's also an elevated listener. So you get an opportunity to be included in our upcoming books. We are actually working on the second of 7 in a series. We also have a private TV show called The Listening Post, where you can be a member of that as well. So in order to get involved, it's so simple. It's $39 to take the Power of Listening course. It's a 2-hour course. And once you're finished, you take it on demand, then that will enable you to get certified. We take your headshot and your certification. We put it up on drjacalyn.com. We also put it up on usaglobaltv.com as an elevated listener, and we promote you and your work. Just go over to drjacalyn.thinkific.com/collections, and we'd love to have you. And I'd like to welcome our newest team member, Kenley Davenport. He's joined as a certified elevated listener. So welcome to the team, Kenley. Kenley is also going to be joining us as a show host next year when he hosts his own Roundtable. So finally, I'd like to offer that we're having a holiday sale on all of my books. You can order your copies on Amazon. They're all at a discounted rate. It's a great way to give the gift of reading, the gift of joy to others. So thank you so much. I will be signing off for now. We thank you for joining us. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio, please do subscribe. We'd love to have you. We have 25 live shows each week. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.